Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Sunday, March 14th, at 3:26 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 538 headlines from 108 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. How Trump's judges stuck a pin in the Stop the Steal balloon. Michael Flynn could face thousands of dollars in penalties as the Army reviews a Pentagon watchdog report. FBI working to identify unknown victims of serial killer. Trump's Washington hotel echoes to silence of missing MAGA crowd. GOP House Leader McCarthy to introduce resolution calling for Rep. Swalwell's removal from Intelligence Committee. Airline passenger faces federal charge with a possible $250,000 fine for refusing to wear mask, urinating in cabin. Former Black Panther member seeking parole after almost 5 decades. Infectious diseases expert Michael Osterholm says COVID variants are a whole new ballgame. Nebraska Governor Ricketts warns, if you legalize marijuana, you're going to kill your kids. Some residents of a Florida city-owned trailer park have lived there for decades. They have until Wednesday to leave. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Beyonce, Taylor Swift could have historic night at Grammys, Associated Press. Results and highlights, Estrada wins split decision over Chocolatito, bad left hook. Breonna Taylor armed protesters prompt Louisville police to declare unlawful assembly, Fox News. Leon Edwards Belal Muhammad ruled no contest after eye poke, ESPN. Sri Lanka to ban burqa, close Islamic schools The Hill. Crowd shouts shame on you as London police break up a peaceful vigil for Sarah Everard, CNN. Alex Rodriguez, Jennifer Lopez have not broken up and the couple says they are working through some things, CBS Sports. I-70 shutdown from Morrison to Silverthorne, in eastern Colorado as snow conditions worsen, The Denver Channel. Patrick Ewing led Georgetown completes Big East run to steal NCAA tournament bid, Sports Illustrated. Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards, Wonder Woman 1984 named favorite movie, Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown, Ariana Grande and BTS among repeat winners, full list, Deadline. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. A law firm aimed to turn VOA into a Trump propaganda machine, now it faces ethics questions. Asteroid the size of Golden Gate Bridge to buzz by Earth. Democrats find support for Biden in small city America. Customers angry over bank delays on stimulus checks. Navy contractor charged in Capitol riot said Hitler should have finished the job. Remembering Breonna Taylor on the first anniversary of her death. Boxing legend Marvin Hagler dies at age 66. London police hassle, handcuff mourners at vigil for slain woman. Bernie Sanders pitches importance of beautiful minor league baseball. My love died in my arms, how am I supposed to recover in just 4 days? The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Police officer dies 8 days after collapsing. Inmate dies after testing positive for COVID-19. Senior Living Center celebrate return to visits. First grader in need of heart gets $30,000 donation. Woman battling COVID-19 for months goes home. Dad sent home by ER dies from COVID-19. Chicago River dyed green for St. Patrick's Day. Maskless woman arrested day after mandate lifted. Officer shot at mall head and face, mouth, 21-year-old man booked. Man hikes in memory of murdered sister. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. 1 year in the pandemic, your weekend briefing. U.S. air travel is rising fast, despite CDC warnings. Election year in Germany kicks off with voting in 2 states. Police shrugged off the Proud Boys until they attacked the Capitol. The missing hours, 7 students on losing a year of after-school activities. Zack Snyder's rough and tumble ride with Justice League. Small piece of the stimulus has ambitious aim of saving mothers' lives. NCAA tournament, things to know going into Selection Sunday. How to thrift for vintage clothing online. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, middleweight champion of the 1980s, dies at 66. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Dominic and Manion, honoring Arlington Cemetery's heroes and their legacy for those who cannot visit. Portland police, detained Pearl District protesters had bear spray, hammers. West Coast cities erupt in violence on Breonna Taylor anniversary. Reddit user incurs wrath of sister after spritzing her with spray bottle, like a cat, during argument. Florida's Ron DeSantis slams Biden's disastrous border policy, Trump had it right. Louisville church fire prompts arson investigation, report. Meghan Markle demanding to see evidence in Buckingham Palace bullying probe. New Mexico border rancher to Biden, do the right thing and finish the wall. Breonna Taylor armed protesters prompt Louisville police to declare unlawful assembly. Kayleigh McEnany slams radical Biden, Democrats power grab on churches, he was never a moderate. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Sunday, March 14th. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Nazanin husband's anger as British embassy refuses to accompany her to Iranian court. Tories accuse PM of tokenism over talent as he plans a women-first reshuffle in summer. Shame on you, calls Mount for Met Police Chief Cressida to resign. Syria's British First Lady Asma al-Assad faces war crimes prosecution in UK. Jabs to go. Drive-through anti-COVID injection centers could vaccinate millions a week. IDV buses consider replacing Piers Morgan with Victoria Derbyshire on Good Morning Britain. Woman pinned to the floor by police at Sarah Everard Vigil wants new protest. Ex-girlfriends of John Cannon are living in fear as convicted rapist and killer nears parole. Amanda Holden, I never accept failure. 2-year-old is reunited with his Buzz Lightyear toy after losing it during a plane trip. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. Africans rethink big, bountiful weddings as pandemic bites. British-Iranian woman back in court after 5 years in prison. India is the next big frontier for Netflix and Amazon. Now, the government is tightening rules on content. Afghanistan reverses ban on girls singing in public after social media protest campaign. Black hair, white underwear, a battle resumes over Japan's bizarre school rules. FEMA to help manage unaccompanied minors at US Mexico border. China and Korea loom as Blinken, Austin head to Asia. Watching the Watchers, who's at the helm of EU's Frontex? British police clash with mourners honoring slain London woman despite COVID restrictions. Mexico is holding hundreds of unaccompanied children detained before they reach the U.S. border. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. COVID, fatigued California's effort to recall Newsom may be a rallying cry for Republicans. Natural hair was a breakup from America, the fashion story behind Judas and the Black Messiah. Coronavirus live news. Ireland Health Authority says use of AstraZeneca vaccine should be suspended. Nazanin's Agari Radcliffe in court in Tehran on second set of charges. Buddhists take on U.S. Army to keep peace in Scottish sanctuary. Will I ever work in an office again? Eva Wiseman. Judas and the Black Messiah review, truly gripping Black Panther drama. The announcer who blamed his racism on diabetes, that's the Oklahoma I grew up in. The monarchy, so what are they for? A child screams in Myanmar, and China pretends not to hear. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Yo-Yo Ma gives impromptu concert after receiving second COVID shot. California governor admits mistakes, says recall unjustified. Woman found dead in mountains after going missing on hike. Mormon leader says family donation to Biden was oversight. Police response to vigil for murdered woman draws criticism. Winter storm could bring multiple feet of snow to Denver. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. North Korea not responding to U.S. contact efforts. U.S. Immigration, Disaster Agency FEMA brought in to help with child migrant surge. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, former undisputed middleweight world champion dies age 66. Argentina's President Alberto Fernández targeted in vehicle by protesters. Breonna Taylor, protest marks anniversary of police killing. Bitcoin surges past $60,000 for first time. Sri Lanka adoption, the babies who were given away. Is there an algorithm for the perfect biryani? Is fighting a pandemic like fighting a war? Live music is back, behind a New York shop window. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Crumbling infrastructure leaves water buckets, boil water notices, as a way of life for some in Mississippi's capital. This is about justice. Events, rallies mark 1-year anniversary of Breonna Taylor's death. As some see deposits, stimulus payments may still be days away for many. Italy back on lockdown, COVID-19 updates. Snow blankets Denver in late season storm. AP top stories March 13th p. Kauai community cut off by landslides after storm. Breonna Taylor's legacy honored at rally. Stolen dog reunited with owner after more than a decade, but a member of his loving family is missing. Hundreds gather for Kendlili Yongo night rally. Spacewalking astronauts work on International Space Station pluming. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Police and protesters clash in Hollywood, following march on anniversary of Breonna Taylor's death. Debate, angst and many questions emerge over LA school reopening plans. COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths continue to decline. Daughter of Mexican drug cartel leader pleads guilty to violating Kingpin Act. Uber bans passenger after racist diatribe against driver reported at lax. Cities across Southeast LA County to hold COVID-19 memorials today. Catalytic converter theft skyrocket in California during the pandemic. When will Southern California restaurants, gyms, theme parks reopen? Here's a timeline. Los Angeles Police Department faces post-Rodney King environment as scrutiny over George Floyd protests builds. Lopez, our other pandemic, speeding cars and lost lives. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Sunday, March 14th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. One of world's rarest toads bred in captivity for first time in Manchester, critically endangered variable harlequin toad. Newly discovered weta species named after Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. EU backs Greece on return of Elgin marbles. Ancient Christian ruins discovered in Egypt reveal nature of monastic life. Family wants answers after Quebec woman posts video begging for help in hospital, dies 2 days later. 10 arrested, over 140 tickets given as thousands protest in Montreal against pandemic public health measures. Myanmar civilian leader says people should defend themselves as toll mounts. Police in England using COVID lockdown rules to halt any protests. British Airways calls for vaccinated people to travel without restrictions. Australia joins US, India and Japan in vowing to restore democracy in Myanmar as death toll rises. UK police under fire after crackdown on vigil for murdered woman. 7 COVID patients die after oxygen fails at Jordan hospital. UK declares China in breach of 1984 Hong Kong Declaration. Far-right Bolivia coup leader Jimenez arrested on terrorism, sedition charges. Iranian government orders teachers to identify children of persecuted Baha'i minority. The next headlines are from Forbes. Why Chris Wilder is only the 3rd Premier League manager to leave his job this season. Brooklyn Nets Nicholas Claxton keeps making plays and turning heads. Luxury consumers haven't gone post-aspirational, rather they aspire for different things. The world's best Irish whiskey, according to the experts. UK says China breached Hong Kong Hanover Treaty for 3rd time. Georgetown wins Big East men's basketball title, clinches unlikely NCAA tournament berth. Raise Bet24.com, Mafia run sportsbook in Caruana Galizia inquiry Sheikh Malta. Chloe Kim is podium perfect in 2021, repeats as snowboard halfpipe world champion. Betting against a Bed Bath & Beyond turnaround would be unwise. March Madness, Iona's Rick Pitino becomes 3rd college coach to lead 5 programs to NCAA tournament. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,692,011,448 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Waffles plus Mochi brings Michelle Obama to Kids TV, review. Takeo seeking to reflect glory from a son onto Taiwan creative industries. Soraya Vanchi sets date as Bollywood's first post-pandemic blockbuster release exclusive. Nomadland and Queen's Gambit win USC Scripter Awards. Linda Ronstadt, the Sound of My Voice producer on how filmmakers finally got the legend on film. Italy's and Yeli Dynasty TV series from female POV being developed by Fremantle's The Apartment. Why one survivor regrets trusting documentary directors Amy Ziering and Kirby Dick exclusive. As Bretman Rock's dreams of stardom become reality, his message remains, be yourself, bitch. Sharon Osbourne, CBS blindsided me with heated Piers Morgan discussion on the talk exclusive. V6 Japan Idol group to disband a new blow to Johnny's agency. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, boxing great, is dead at 66. Hundreds gather to demand justice for Breonna Taylor 1 year after her death. Life-changing stimulus checks begin rolling out. Some senators want permanent daylight saving time. Black farmers have long faced discrimination. New aid aims to right past wrongs. The Bachelorette gets new hosts to replace Chris Harrison after racial controversy. How is the COVID-19 vaccination campaign going in your state? Coronavirus world map. We've now passed the 100 million mark for infections. How severe is your state's coronavirus outbreak? Several more protesters die in Myanmar. Quad leaders urge restoration of democracy. The following headlines are from the week. Why COVID-19 deaths were reportedly nearly as likely in 5-star nursing homes as 1-star facilities. Bolivian government arrests former interim president who succeeded Morales. Why U.S., Ukraine may still have concerns about their respective agendas in the post-Trump era. Republicans remain confident Biden's agenda is classic Democratic overreach. Stimulus checks are already out the door. 10 things you need to know today, March 13, 2021. Avatar becomes the highest-grossing film of all time again after re-release in China. Schumer, Gillibrand join fellow New York lawmakers in calling for Cuomo's resignation. The Netflix password-sharing apocalypse is nigh. The COVID vaccine pipeline. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. Damascus Steel, a premier in material science and nanoengineering. The next headlines are from Universe Today. A planet lost its atmosphere, so its volcanoes made it a new one. These are the news headlines for today, Sunday, March 14th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Hubble Space Telescope back out of safe mode, working to resume normal operations. The next news is from Politico. The vaccines that could stop COVID-19. Biden's first 100 days. Capitol rioter boasted he could access powerful weapons to take back country, prosecutors say. Ron Johnson says he didn't feel threatened January 6. If BLM or Antifa stormed Capitol, he might have. Navy investigators found contractor in Capitol riot was known as a white supremacist. Biden keeping Ukraine at arm's length. Meet the Republican building a McCain model on foreign policy. Newsom relied on Dodgers, donor-driven foundation for splashy state speech. States embrace Biden's bold new vaccine promise, with caution. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. The Ides of March are come. NRL launches with blowout round as winning margins near expansion high. Sharks stave off Dragons rally to win bitter local derby. Gallery, World of Photos, March 15, 2020. Adelaide, Victory condemn racial abuse leveled at Red Striker. How Gen Z will lead the pandemic recovery in a technological world. New UQ head looking to future after weathering pandemic storm. Neglect of aged care more proof of Morrison's blocker or blind spot. Why there's no denying the Tigers. The Diamonds are getting used to losing, but netball boss calls for patience. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Where should I retire? I want to retire in a college town with warm weather and lower taxes. Where should I go? The New York Post, Marco Rubio backs Amazon union push, cites company's culture wars. Outside the box, trying to find the most tax-friendly place to retire? It's not so simple. The moneyest, change can happen without us noticing. COVID brought us a year of epic uncertainty, but here's what I know for sure. Dispatches from a pandemic, we are weary, life in Italy, 1 year after national lockdown to stop the spread of COVID-19. Dispatches from a pandemic, as UK eases COVID-19 lockdown restrictions, pandemic year 2 provides equal helpings of anxiety and hope. The moneyest, my husband told me that my $1,400 stimulus check will be spent on aluminum siding on our home. What can I do? Newswatch, no peace for markets until 10-year Treasury yield hits 2%, strategist says. Where should I retire? I retire to a beach town in Thailand and am living in paradise on $2,500 a month. The moneyest, my single brother-in-law wants my husband to sign over the family home where he lives, in case my husband dies first. Should I agree? Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. China top patent filer in 2020, India ranks 13th, iPad's future in limbo and more, IP News Center. Trivially speaking, a labor of trivial love began 20 years ago, Loveland reporter Herald. Celebrating Women in History this month, Morgan News Herald. You don't know what you've got until it's gone, helping your clients protect their intellectual property assets. Intellectual property, United States, Mondac News alerts. IPOPHL upskills patent examiners in AI-related inventions, Philippine Information Agency. Justices told Fed, Circ, mudded inventorship law in IP Row, Law 360. The next headlines are from Quartz. Flutterwave funding, gig economy prospects, vaccine diplomacy. Bob Dylan, Neil Young, and other old rockers are the hottest new asset class. What Namibia's breweries tell us about the nation's past. Weekend edition, a lot longer than a year, Royal HR lessons, scratch and sniff. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Game Jam winner spotlight, rhythm action Gatsby. What Stevie Ray Vaughan can teach us about security design. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Georgetown basketball. Baylor basketball. Kerry Kennedy. George Floyd. Nick Markakis. Arkansas basketball. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Fight fans share greatest 3 minutes in boxing history in tribute to marvelous Marvin Hagler after death age 66, video. Mistakes were made during EU's COVID-19 vaccination program, Commission VP admits. 1/3 of all countries worldwide completely closed to international tourism, UN. Portland police confiscate guns, hammers and other weapons after corralling 100 protesters during violent demonstration. UFC fans and fighters demand action as sickening eye poke causes Edwards-Muhammad clash to end in no contest. EU countries lose almost 6 million jobs due to COVID-19 pandemic, study finds. Merkel's scandal hit party limps towards likely defeats in key state elections months before Germans select next chancellor. Black-clad anti-lockdown demonstrators march through Copenhagen after activist receives 2 years jail term, video. North Korea snubs Biden administration's repeated attempts to get in touch, media. Get right before you get left, boomer, Marines backtrack after jumping into Fox host Tucker Carlson's row with Pentagon. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. China's Arctic ambitions pose growing threat to Canadian interests, top defense official warns. Explained, the 3 major COVID-19 variants. Here's how 30 preppers have adapted and what they foresee happening next. Air Force receives first F-15X capable of carrying hypersonic weapons. Free speech, and it's gone. Tesla killer, spy photos of first Ford F-150 all-electric pickup emerge. More California cities experiment with zero pay leading to predictable results. Roadable aircraft could finally get off the ground in New Hampshire. Newt Gingrich locked out of Twitter for criticizing Biden's immigration policy. Air travel hits highest level in a year amid eased restrictions, SA says. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. More deaths reported as protests continue across Myanmar. Saudi Arabia's long-awaited kafala reform goes into effect. Iran, Nazanin Zaghari Radcliffe appears in court over new charge. 32,000 kilometers, 655 screens, documenting India's endangered cinemas. Taliban expresses skepticism over interim Afghan government proposal. Boxing legend Marvelous Marvin Hagler dies age 66. In pictures, UK police crack down on vigil for Sarah Everard. How dangerous are the new COVID variants? Thombasin Tumfunzi, a South African athlete's fight against rape. And Korea unresponsive to behind-the-scenes U.S. outreach. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Chris Harrison not returning for next season's Bachelorette. Pop star Camila Cabello says she attends weekly racial healing sessions to get corrected. Bill Maher, while China's dominating the world, America is having a never-ending woke competition. Boxing great Marvelous Marvin Hagler dies at 66. Mom convicted of child sexual assault occurring during sleepovers with daughter's friends. Glamour magazine includes Transgender Woman in Women of the Year awards. Iranian police arrest pop star's producers for vulgar song. Dem Rep Moulton, we'll have continued presence of National Guard at Capitol until we can reform the Capitol Police. Donald Trump makes surprise appearance at Mar-a-Lago dog rescue fundraiser. Former Trump EPA administrator blasts climate activist hypocrites, they preach for everybody else. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. 10 Best Retro iPhone Games. 10 Worst CGI Sequences in Movies Part 2. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. George Floyd family to receive $27 million from City of Minneapolis. GoodRx launches $40 million charitable initiative to provide free prescriptions for many Americans who need it most. Penguin leaps into a tour boat to avoid being eaten by killer whales. Watch. 52% of Americans surveyed say they volunteered for the first time during the pandemic. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Sunday, March 14th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Thombasin Tumfunzi, a South African athlete's fight against rape sexual assault news. Cheerleader's mom created deepfake videos to allegedly harass her daughter's rivals. Fortnite pro oversleeps during tournament, costing his team. Man abandons toddler in vehicle in middle of street. MMA fighter Caspel sees and reports it, stands by for police to arrive. Facebook video LinkedIn report. Gross misconduct, 2 University of Lahore students expelled after proposal video goes viral. Wisconsin mayor wants giant RoboCop statue in the city, from Wisconsin. China's Genshin Impact X KFC crossover events shut down due to COVID-19 concerns. Man faces stiff prison sentence after urinating on his seat during Alaska Airlines flight. Porsche driver filmed and taunted 4 police officers as they lay dying on the highway at a crash scene. Russian government passes bill to legalize corruption. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. What facial recognition and the racist pseudoscience of phrenology have in common. Finally get your business idea off the ground with the help of startups.com. This rare meteorite found on a driveway might hold the answer to our solar system's origin. Apple stops selling the original HomePod to concentrate on the many. The following headlines are from Science Daily. New tool to dissect undruggable proteins through the sugars they depend on. Exhaustion linked with increased risk of heart attack in men. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Sunday, March 14th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Utah State awaits NCAA tournament fate after 68-57 loss to San Diego State. Snow breaks records in St. George, slows traffic around the state. In first home game in nearly a year and a half, Vapor State rallies past UC Davis. Utah ski team wins NCAA championship, redemption. Woman killed in fire at Taylorsville home. Child dies after being found in Cache County River. Utah has received more than 1 million vaccine doses. Utah's Burgess Owens says Biden is stealing credit from Trump for COVID vaccine. The triple team, signs of low effort abound as Jazz eventually beat woeful Rockets team. Man killed in South Salt Lake shooting. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. Should we heed the science and abolish daylight saving time? IBM's patent income slips as companies resist Godfather deals. Whatever happened to fired COVID-19 data manager Rebecca Jones? Early study results suggest experimental drug could slow cognitive decline in Alzheimer's patients. 2 companies are now selling diamonds made from airborne CO2. More San Francisco tech companies cancel leases due to remote work. The U.S. is sitting on tens of millions of vaccine doses the world needs. WordPress considers dropping support for Internet Explorer 11. Encrypted messaging service cracked by Belgian police, followed by dozens of arrests. Microsoft criticized for removing Exchange exploit from GitHub. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Major case squad investigates suspicious death in Warrenton. Community says change needed after domestic violence triple murder. Marvin Hagler, middleweight boxing great, dies at 66. Family of financial planners wants to help break the cycle of poverty in St. Louis. 2 men killed in East St. Louis double shooting. State police looking for witnesses in deadly I-270 shooting. Springfield man charged with murder and fatal shooting. Police, man assaulted after catching his nephew stealing Netflix password. Missouri trooper fatally shoots man after lengthy standoff. Missouri COVID cases tick upward after months of decline. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Permanent daylight saving time, what could it look like? Nurses fight conspiracy theories along with coronavirus. Here's who can get vaccinated starting Monday. Governor Newsom admits mistakes, says recall unjustified. How long after the second dose of the COVID vaccine is it effective? Father's leg amputated after hit and run at grocery store. Aztecs beat Utah State 68-57 to win Mountain West title. 1 killed, 1 hurt in National City apartment fire. Carlsbad unified to bring secondary students back next week. The next headlines are from SpookNews.com. America isn't in a cyber war with Russia and China, it's actually the most sophisticated spy game in human history, and the US is much stronger than it looks. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. String of deaths continues at Russia's main tank manufacturer. French Army set to receive 90 VBL Ultima armored vehicles in 2021. U.S. Air Force mimics operations from a forward location. Russia offers modern fighter jets to complement Turkey's S-400 air defense systems. U.S. State Department approves possible $1.77 billion sale of P-8A aircraft to Germany. U.S. Air Force B-1B bomber lands in Poland for the first time. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. U.S., Japan, and Australia to help India compete with China's vaccine diplomacy. Ant issues self-disciplinary rules, CEO resigns. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Sunday, March 14th, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. High school football resumes in the Bay Area. Track the rain, showers, possible thunderstorms head to Bay Area. VP Harris honors Breonna Taylor, says she will continue to push for police reform. Danville officer who shot man with knife linked to 2018 fatal shooting. 100 detained, 13 arrested following Portland protest. St. Patrick's Day, virtual celebrations begin in the Bay Area. Antioch man rescues Oakland driver who crashed into Sacramento River. LA County hospitalizations at lowest point in 4 months. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. AP interview, minister says Afghan forces can hold their own. LeMahieu HRN's no more early exits for pitchers. Portland police, detained protesters had bear spray, hammers. Anthony, Lillard lift Blazers over Timberwolves 125-121. Drexel women roar back to dump Delaware in CAA title game. Barkov scores twice as Panthers beat Blackhawks 4-2. Elgin infant's death ruled a homicide. Grammar Moses, dictionary man gets the last word. $100,000 bond for Lombard man charged with possession of child pornography. Record of over 150,000 vaccinations in a day. Now when can people return to loop offices? The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC, Namibia. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Malawi, Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Green alert for tropical cyclone Havana 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour. Wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.9 m, depth 10 km, in Kermadec Islands region March 13, 2021, 21:21 in UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.9 m, depth 36.68 km, in unknown, March 13, 2021, 14:04 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Sunday, March 14th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Our first of 2 fronts arrives today. Here's what to expect. Organizations gather to assist senior citizens following winter storm. Unfiltered, dermatology procedures to have you camera ready. French bulldog among puppies stolen from Webster store. Search for man wanted for allegedly shooting mother-in-law to death is over. Mississippi man marries sweetheart from hospital bed days before dying from coronavirus. Tornadoes reported in Texas Panhandle, no injuries reported. Man accused of shooting ex-girlfriend and leaving her to die. Justice for Joshua Feast march planned in Lamarck. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra extra, it's the year 2021 yet Avatar is dominating the box office. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. State officials quietly roll back vaccination hours at Javits Center, no longer 24/7 site. With 150-person weddings set to resume, NYC vendors are skeptical all rules will be followed. NYC 2 whole day of remembrance marking 1 year of COVID's deadly toll. Subway ridership hits new peak for first time during pandemic. Following emergence of NY variant, city moves to boost vaccination in Washington Heights. Chinatown banquet halls workers and supporters propose collective ownership plan to launch new restaurant. Early voting starts for hotly contested 11th and 15th Council District special elections. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. Next, info on a few earthquakes today from earthquaketoday.com. Light earthquake, 4.7 mag has occurred near Kainantu in Papua New Guinea. Moderate earthquake 5.2 mag, 91 kilometers WNW of Port Vila, Vanuatu. Moderate earthquake 5 mag, 95 kilometers WNW of Port Vila, Vanuatu. Moderate earthquake 5 mag strikes near Kermadec Islands region. Moderate earthquake 5.1 mag, Kermadec Islands region. Light earthquake 4.5 mag, 76 kilometers E of Sarangani, Philippines. Minor earthquake 3.43 mag was detected near Cruz Bay in U.S. Virgin Islands. Minor earthquake 3.54 mag strikes near Cruz Bay in U.S. Virgin Islands. Light earthquake 4.2 mag, 21 kilometers northeast of Pelca, Peru. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Sudan took important step, but now should send the ICC suspects to The Hague. International Women's Day, 2021, more women leaders make better societies. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Chicago River dyed green in surprise move by city's mayor. Critics call Senator Ron Johnson's insurrection comments racist. Did actor Jamila Jamil say I almost killed myself over Piers Morgan dispute? Do photos show Governor Andrew Cuomo holding a beer bottle, draped in a blanket? Did Toronto restaurant rename burgers as office supplies? J-Rod continues, Lopez, Rodriguez say they're still together. Is Tom Hanks' brother the voice of Woody in Toy Story products? Virus toll similar despite governor's contrasting actions. Did Fox News host Greg Gutfeld sing I Gotta Pee live on air? We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. When Ralphie May figured out trashing Native Americans was a bad idea. Old Nazis don't deserve a pass just because they're old. The Christian tourism industry is having a rough year. Where do giants come from? How declining fertility rates may deliver us into oblivion. It's time to trash the SATs, a bad test born out of bad race science. Pedro Almodovar and Tilda Swinton on their pandemic triumph, the human voice. Does your armpit need a moment of indulgence? Time for the other 49 states to bow down to West Virginia. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Joe Douglas and Jets must avoid the free agency trap. Carlos Carrasco's availability for start of Mets season still in doubt. Nets Landry Shamet puts on a show on his birthday. 2 dead in Myanmar protest causing leaders calling for people to defend themselves. Mets Khalil looking to showcase his talents. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Spacewalking astronauts perform 6-hour-long repair on the International Space Station. Asteroid the size of the Golden Gate Bridge to zoom by Earth. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. Watch a Harvard professor explain why he thinks aliens visited us already. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Charlie Hebdo criticized for publishing cartoon with Meghan Markle as George Floyd. Michigan doctors post operating room photos to Instagram, health system investigating. Mayoral candidate Andrew Yang's plan to give cash to New York City's poor remains vague, opponents call it a gimmick. 2,000 Denver flights canceled as snowstorm expected to drop 2 feet on city. CIT, Texas woman arrested after not wearing mask in bank. What are you gonna do, arrest me? 2 astronauts doing work outside space station take extra safety precautions after possibly getting pneumonia in spacesuits. Ceremonies honor Breonna Taylor a year after her death. Kate Middleton goes to pay respects at memorial of murdered woman Sarah Everard. 13 left-wing protesters in Portland, arrested after cops box in 100. French actress Corinne Maziero strips naked at César Awards to comment on pandemic closures. The following headlines are from military.com. Inside U.S. troops' stronghold in Syria, a question of how long Biden will keep them there. First round of Naval Academy midshipmen receive COVID vaccine. Former sailor gets 16 years to life for killing wife, dumping body in San Diego Bay 2 years later. World War II veteran, believed to be the last survivor of those who served in battle aboard the cruiser San Francisco, dies at 98. US F-35B fighter jets are operating on an Italian aircraft carrier for at-sea tests. These recruits were promised citizenship in exchange for military service. Now they fear the US has forgotten them. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Cicero man faces murder charge in shooting of 68-year-old Bridgeport man, a good person with a good heart who really loved this community. Chicago River dyed green for St. Patrick's Day weekend, prompting selfies and cheering. It's a little bit of normalcy. Autopsy, 3-month-old Elgin boy's death ruled homicide. 2 men slain in Evanston identified, died of multiple gunshot wounds, officials say. CTA service back to normal after woman fatally hit by train in loop. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, more than 152,000 COVID-19 vaccines administered on Friday, the highest daily total yet, 1,675 new cases, 23 more deaths reported. A year of COVID-19 deaths, 10 stories of how Illinois families are facing life after losing a loved one. COVID-19 in Illinois by the numbers. Here's a daily update on cases, positivity rate and hospital data in your area. COVID-19 cases in Illinois by zip code, search for your neighborhood. Where the coronavirus data stands in the U.S. and world, vaccinations, cases and deaths. The following headlines are from phys.org. Russia deploys giant space telescope in Lake Baikal. Spacewalkers take extra safety precautions for toxic ammonia. Oil in the ocean photo oxides within hours to days, new study finds. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Sunday, March 14th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The Leaning Tower of Pisa wasn't supposed to lean. Do positive affirmations work? The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Null leads slalom after first run, Schwartz closes in on title. Pandemic redefines public access to government meetings. Governors evade sunshine laws to keep records from public. Clara and the Sun is the top local fiction bestseller. AP photos, Greek bicentennial show goes on despite pandemic. Call me, US Turkey reset faces long list of hurdles. German election year opens with tough test for Merkel party. NBA has a record day with 5 triple-doubles. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Ask Amy, my friend's father leaves disturbing posts on my Facebook. Horoscopes March 14, 2021, Billy Crystal and Quincy Jones share advice. Word game, March 14th, 2021. Bridge, March 14th, 2021. Dear Abby, I found out the real reason my husband is in counseling. Saturday Night 5, Oregon State takes the trophy, NCAA bid projections, Krist Kowiak and Haas on the hot seat. High school football roundup, San Ramon Valley scores late to edge Los Lomas. Agalanes hold off short-handed Monte Vista's fourth quarter rally. Prep football, De La Salle defeats St. Mary's Stockton in season opener. San Jose Sharks sweep Anaheim Ducks, keep momentum going. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. The latest, Pakistan imposes partial lockdown in some areas. Government delay access to public records during pandemic. Pandemic redefines public access to government meetings. New Florida invasive species, a 10-foot-long river monster. Andy Garcia documentary could lead to a Florida film studio. Beyond, Taylor Swift could have historic night at Grammys. The next headlines are from The Intercept. In Cherry, the bank robber is the victim. What about the teller he held up? This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Sunday, March 14th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Wider horizons for highly ordered nano-hole arrays. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Teen charged with Englewood carjacking. Man fatally shot during Avalon Park domestic dispute, woman in custody, police. Teen charged with carjacking 60-year-old woman at gunpoint. Horoscope for Sunday, March 14th, 2021. 2 shot, 1 fatally, in Humboldt Park, police. Who's in? NCAA tournament bids. Blackhawks start season second half poorly with loss to Panthers. DePaul Prep beats Evanston to finish off unexpected run to Chipotle title. 2 armed robberies reported on same Englewood block, police. Boxing great Marvelous Marvin Hagler dies at 66. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. 13 ways to spend 313 day 2021 in Detroit. Free community fridges are cropping up across Detroit to address need and waste. Best Latin dating sites 2021, 100% free Hispanic dating. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Sunday, March 14th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are about world records making news. Pigs in blankets, sheepdogs, Powys world record breakers, Powys County Times. With Wrangly on electoral democracy catcher admin eyes for world record, Assam Tribune. Bizarre world record attempts made in Essex, Echo. Could we see a world record in Antrim, fast running? Mithili Raj creates world record, becomes first woman cricketer to complete 7,000 OD runs, India.com. TNF, Lightfoot, Nugent and Miller win national titles, BaylorBears.com. Oldest Twitter user 2 Grand Final 6 Bradford World Records, Bradford Telegraph and Argus. Ottawa's Lucy Hempstead cycles for 24 hours, breaks world record, Ottawa Sun. Kids' Choice Awards set a Guinness World Record during tonight's show, Just Sarah Jr. 14 Weird and Wonderful Guinness Book of World Records titles held in Northern Ireland, Belfast Live. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Syncing up with Chrome, Microsoft accelerates Edge's release cycle to every 4 weeks. This mom allegedly created deepfakes to bully her daughter's rivals off the cheerleading squad. Tiffany Haddish will star in Mystery Girl on Netflix. Was it Agatha all along on WandaVision? It almost wasn't. Saturday's best deals: Westinghouse 42 inches Roku TV, Auto Full Rabbit Ears gaming chair, Nutel Bluetooth trackers, Mophie power banks, Dyson humidifier plus fan, and more. Get $50 off of this Dyson humidifier and fan combo today. Apple, RIP HomePod, long live the HomePod Mini. Minor League Baseball reportedly experimenting with robot umpires. Microsoft investigates whether leaked proof of concept attack code contributed to Exchange hack. We've reached peak AirPods 3 rumors. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Addo Elephant Park in South Africa at 111.56 degrees Fahrenheit or 44.2 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 87.16 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 66.2 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Researchers think a planet lost its original atmosphere, built a new one. Federal investigators blessed Tesla, call for stricter safety standards. The code breaker is the CRISPR chronicle you need to read. Exchange servers first compromised by Chinese hackers hit with ransomware. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Trump resurfaces, he looks fantastic and stronger than ever, supporter. Sick of being stuck at home, but ready to go back into the world? These two big banks are refusing to get $1,400 stimulus checks to Americans as quickly as possible. Watch, Janine Pirro wants the government to find out who has an alcohol problem. Watch, Yo-Yo Ma turns vaccine site into concert venue to celebrate the good news of his second shot. Mike Huckabee floats conspiracy theory about Trump, and ends up looking ridiculous. Iowa voters think Chuck Grassley's 6 decades in office is long enough. Black Republican derided as a fool after shocking comments on white supremacy. Republican keeps lying, but his local newspaper has a plan to deal with his Senate bid. Arrested insurrectionist argued the Proud Boys were not a racist white supremacist group, FBI. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. How far should humans go to help species adapt to conditions we created? Senator Ron Johnson wasn't worried during Capitol attack because rioters weren't BLM. On Roy Haynes' 96th birthday today, a collective card from more than 20 jazz giants. Mississippi governor rejects Medicaid expansion for working-class constituents. People like money. Oil and gas firms are saddling states with billions in cleanup costs. Breonna Taylor was slain 1 year ago today. The tragic police raids continue. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. I caused my mother some of the greatest pain of her life. She inflicted similar on me. The Irish Times. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. Discovery sheds light on ancient cosmetics, ChinaDaily.com CN, China Daily USA. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Sunday, March 14, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. UFO reported hovering over 38th Infantry Regimental Headquarters, near Omaha Beach, France. UFO Chronicle 1945. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Sunday, March 14, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. True Strange News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by True Strange News. All rights reserved.